Okay.
Another
It
service
is
synopsis.
Saturday night. Yes, and we just pull up from church. And I am lazy to go get my camera set up and stuff upstairs. So, yes, it's a hat thing. Anyway, you know what happens on Saturday? I give my synopsis. Yes, and today is no different. You want to see my face? I love my hat. I just hope if somebody was being blocked, it just needed to tilt. I'm sure I was not blocking anybody. Anyway, today, Pastor Allen, let's see, his sermon was about clarifying your identity, freedom. Okay, you know I can't see. Okay, I think, yeah, clarifying our identity, freedom. And I must say, before he started his sermon, they had all the babies come up to be dedicated, and that's always such a beautiful thing to see, parents bringing their children before God to dedicate their lives to Him. Our church do not believe in submerging babies. We believe in baptism by submersion, but we don't believe in submersion babies. So the parents come to have their children blessed / dedicated to God. It was just so beautiful. Yeah, so it just reminded me of when I did it with my children. Yes, all my kids were dedicated, to Jesus. And you do that until, they're ready to get baptized for themselves. Because, babies can't tell God, hey, I choose you, I want to live for you. No. So as parents, we have our babies blessed, dedicated to God. And then when they grow up, they can decide, hey, God, I want to give my life to you, and get baptized. So it was just beautiful. And yes, so then Pastor, preached about clarifying our identity and freedom. And pretty much what he talked about was about, we say we're Christians, and he is saying that, okay, we identify as Christians, but are we living a Christian life? Now, we can be during the week living a hedonist life, and then one day for the week we come and we holier than thou. That's not being a Christian. There are rules. God left laws for us to follow. We're not supposed to commit adultery. We're not supposed to, envy, fornicate. The list goes on, and he was naming them. We, as a people, if we say we are Christians, we have to live that life. And remember, people are watching you. At least that's what I always remember. People are always watching. Yeah. So even if you don't want to live the life, what example are you setting by the life you're living? For me, my kids are always watching. So it's the life I'm living, What example am I setting for them? And don't get me wrong, people are going to pass judgment on the life you're living regardless, whether they think you're living that way or not. And I feel like, the way I dress and carry myself, someone might think I'm a certain way when I'm not. I can be a real prude when it comes to, having people in my personal space. I really want to set a great example for my children who are looking. There's a saying in the Caribbean, children do what they see, not what you tell them to do. So we can tell them to do a whole lot of stuff, but if our example is horrible, then obviously they'll just follow in our footsteps and do horrible stuff. So I always keep that in mind. I want to live a righteous life because I know I want to be that example for my children. And then I can hold them to it. Like, hey, I'm not doing crap, so you shouldn't do crap. Anyway, so I love the fact that Pastor Allen every week wants us to be better, wants us to do better. Be that Christian that God wants us to be. Take that stand for who we are and stand strong in it. So if we're not living a righteous life, it's hard to take a stand and tell somebody else to live righteous. Do you understand? We got to start with us. I got to start with me. You got to start with you. And then we can go out and, encourage others to do the same. But yes, that's what service was about. It was beautiful. I love seeing the babies, and I left there encouraged as always to be a better Christian. And I hope you're encouraged as well. And you know what I always say? Yeah, let's thank God for every day. Every day above ground is a blessing. Yes, it's a blessing, but it's also a day for us to make the necessary changes needed in order to see God's face and to live a righteous life. Hey, even if we fell down yesterday, we can get up today and say, God, forgive me for yesterday. Help me to do better today. So I pray that we all make that change in our lives so that we all can see the face of God. I mean, even though the Bible say many are wandering after the beast. Let's not be those. Okay, we want to be the people on the narrow road, which have few. Okay, we want to be there. We don't want to be on the broad road. We don't want to be following the world. We can be in the world, but not be of the world. And I know what you guys are saying. Hey, remember what I said yesterday? God is still working with me. I have my moments where I love to be sexy, and God is working with me. He is working with me. But for the most part, I try my best to live a righteous life, especially since I have children. Okay, so yes. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the Sabbath's over weekend, and go forth in this new week striving to do better. At least that's what I'm going to do, and I encourage you to do the same. So until the next one, bye.